Gauranga Sri Swarupa Rupanuga Shri Keshava Bhakti Pragyana Gaudiya Vedanta Vetamaya Varata Mahata Gauravani Prachara Chadama Pracharira Gauravani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Purlila Prabhupada Kama Keshapriya Mahajana Brahmana Narayanana Gauravani Tara Pranadana He Sabahari Jana Gaurangera Nija Jana Tadara Uchiste Murakama Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara. What's the next page? What's the next one? Oh, yeah. Page 36. Vrindavana Vaisi Jato. Do you want a book? Vaishnavera Gana Pratame Badana Kori Savara Charana Nilachara Vaisi Jato Mahaprabhu Gana Pumite Puriya Bandhu Savara Charana Nava Vaisi Jato Mahaprabhu Bhakta Sabhara Charana Bandhu Hoya Anurakta Mahaprabhu Bhakta Jato Gauradeshi Sthiti Sabhara Charana Bandhu Gauriya Pranati Deshe Deshe Baise Gaurangera Gana Udvavahu Kori Bandhu Sabhara Charana Hoyachena Hoyi Beno Prabhu Jata Jasa Sabhara Charana Bandhu Dante Kori Gasa Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dare Jane Jane Ebera Purana Guna Jaya Deva Sune Mahaprabhu Gana Sabapati Tapavana Tairo Bimoye Papilo Vinusharana Padana Korite Moye Kato Shakti Dori Noburi Doshe Moye Tamba Matra Kori Tatapi Mukera Bhagya Manera Ulasa Dosa Shami Muadame Koroni Jadasa Bancha Siddhi Hari Rama Banda Jute Jagata Dulava Hoya Prema Dana Dute Nera Vasana Purna Atira Teoya Devaki Nandana Dasa Hero Bekaya Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrindam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedaya Kori Swaparishara Sriya Dhamma Sahavatari Adyanta Durlava Prema Koribaridana Shikaya Sharanagati Vakatera prana Dayatmani vena Kotripe barana Avasya rakshibe Krishna Vishvasa parana Bhakti anukula matra Karyara svikara Tipati kula bhava Rajanangikara Sharanga sharanagati Hoyi virahara Tahara pratana sune Srinanda Kumara Rupa Sanatana Pare Tantitina Kore Bhakati Vinora Pare Tu Paradore Kariya Kariya Bole Amito Nama Shikaye Sharana Gate Karo He Utam Jaya Swapashara Jaya Gora Hari Swapashara Jaya Gora Hari Anyone want to sing for Gore? What? 174. Mana bol Hari bol Hari 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 bol Govinda Madhava Gopala bol bol Hari bol Hari 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 bol Govinda Bol Mane Dayanande Bhai Bol Hari Bol Mane Dayanande Bhai Bol Hari जनम सुखे बोल हरि बोल मन बोल हरि 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 बोल मुकुंद माधवा Govinda bol bol Hari 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 bol Mukunda Madhava Govinda bol Manava janam mein bhai bol Hari bol Suke taka duke tako bol hari bol. Suke taka duke tako bol hari bol. Mana bol hari bol hari 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 bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Baba Hari Hari Bol Madhava Govinda Bol Sampada Vipade Bhai Bol Hari Bol Griha Thako Vane Thako Bol Hari Bol Krishna Sangsara Thaki Bol Hari Bol Krishna Sangsara Thaki Bol Hari Bol Mana bol hari bol hari 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 bol Govinda Madhava Gopala bol bol hari bol hari 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 bol Govinda Madhava Gopala bol Asat Sanga Chate Bhai Bol Hari Bol Asat Sanga Chate Bhai Bol Hari Bol Manare Vaishnava Charane Pati Bol Hari Bol Griha Thako Vane Thako Bol Hari Bol Mana bol hari bol hari 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 bol Govinda Madhava Gopala bol bol hari 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 bol Mukunda Madhava Gopala bol Gaura Nityananda bol hari bol Gaura Nityananda bol hari bol Gaura Gadadhara bol hari bol Gaura Gadadhara bol hari bol Gaura Shri Advaita bol hari bol
Gaura Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari 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 Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. With bliss in minds, O brothers, chant the names of Hari, birth after birth in great happiness. Just chant the name of Hari. Having obtained this rare human birth, O brothers, chant the name of Hari. Whether you are in happiness or distress, just chant the name of Hari. Whether you are in prosperity or misfortune, O brothers, chant the name of Hari. Whether you live at home as a householder or in the forest as the renunciate, chant the name of Hari. Live a Krishna-centered life and just chant the name of Hari. Shunning the association of the wicked, O brothers, chant the name of Hari. Falling at the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas, just chant the name of Hari. Chant the names of Gaur Nityananda. Chant the names of Gaur Gadadhar. Chant the names of Gaur Advaita. Just chant. Chant the name of Hari. Just chant. Hari Bol.
Do we do Krishna then Radha? 4:30 or 3:43. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Mana Manasa Madhukara Marpaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande. O Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Yadyapi samadhishu virirapi pasyati natava nakaragramichim. Irami chami nisham yatavatyuta tadapi kripa bhuta vichim. Jayara Deva Bhavantam Bande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Bhaktirudan Chatiyaryapi Madhava Natvai Mamatila Matri. Parameshvara Tadapi Tavadika Torgata Gata Nariratri. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Ayama Vilola Nyaya Sanatana Kalita Bhutara Sabharam. Nivasatu Nityami Hamrita Nindini Vindan Madhuri Nanasaram. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, wait, Pimanandi. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, 341. Okay, great. 341. I don't fully remember the tune. Jaya Jaya. Gokula Taruni. Sing that second line. Okay, yeah. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadaite. Boilo Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadaite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadaite. Damodararate Vadana Veshe Harini Skuta Vrinda Vipinese. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadaite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadaite. Vishabhanu Nari Navashashi Leke Lalita Saki Gunaramita Vishake. Karunam Kurumai Karunavarite Janaka Sanatana Vanita Virite. Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadaite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadaite. Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Gaura Pemanande. I don't know. I'm. Oh. He won't answer my calls. Could you? She wants Haridas.
Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tvudalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Namah. Yang Pravrajantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taruajuhava Putri Ditanmayataya Taruvo Benedos Tang Sarvabhutahridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vinay Aparada Lakshay Chiptascha Kamadi Tarangamadhi Kripamayi Tvang Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto to the Sat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to our grandfather gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees, and the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So today is the third part of our festival in observance of the Vyasa Puja Day, the anniversary of the appearance day of Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. We're going to begin with a talk from our Srila Prabhupada about some wonderful experiences that he had with our Param Gurudev. I myself could talk about it. I heard back in 1968 when Srila Prabhupada gave this lecture, and I can speak about it easily, but it wouldn't have the same impact. My voice couldn't be choked up like his. So we're going to begin now and hear from our Srila Prabhupada. Loud. Start from the beginning and make it loud. All right. Can I have that?
The donor doesn't usually work with
Start from the beginning.
When I was in the midst of, I took the sannyas order. One has to accept the renounced order from another person who is in renounced order. So, I never thought that I shall accept this renounced order of life. In my family life, when I was in the midst of my wife and children, sometimes I was dreaming my spiritual master that he is calling me and I was falling. When my dream was over, I was thinking, I was a little horrified. Oh, Guru Maharaj wants me to become sannyasi. How can I accept sannyas? At that time, I was feeling not very satisfaction that I have to give up my family and I have to become a mendicant. At that time, it was a horrible feeling. Sometimes I was thinking, no, I cannot take sannyas. But again, I saw the same dream. So in this way, I was fortunate. My Guru Maharaj pulled me out from this material life. I have not lost anything. You are so kind of me. I have gained. I left 3 children. I have got now 300. So I am not losing. This is material conception. We think that we shall be loser by accepting Krishna. Nobody is loser. I say from my practical experience, I was thinking that how can I accept this? A renounced order of life. I cannot accept so much trouble. So, but I retired from my family life. I was sitting alone in Vrindavan, writing books. So this, my god brother, he insisted me, Bhaktivedanta Prabhu. This title was given in my family life. It was offered to me by the Vaishnava Society. So he insisted me. Not he insisted me, practically my spiritual master insisted me through him that you accept. Because without accepting the renounced order of life, nobody can become a preacher. So he wanted me to become a preacher. So he forced me through this God brother. You accept. So unwillingly I accepted. And then I remembered that he wanted me to go to the Western country. So I am feeling now very much obliged to my this God brother that he carried out the wish of my spiritual master and enforced me to accept the sannyas order. So this God brother, His Holiness Krishna Maharaj, is no more. He has entered Krishna's abode. So I wish to pass a resolution bereavement and send them. So, and I have composed one verse also in this connection in Sanskrit. So you all present, you sign this, I shall send it tomorrow. The verse I have composed, it is in Sanskrit. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. This Krishna consciousness is Vairagya Vidya. Vairagya Vidya means to become detestful to this material world. That is called Vairagya. And that is possible simply by this Bhakti Yoga. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Papayat Ma. This, just like medicine, a child is afraid of taking medicine. That also I have experienced in my childhood when I became ill. I was very stubborn. I won't accept any medicine. So my mother used to force medicine within my mouth with a spoon. I was so obstinate. So anyway, similarly, I did not want to accept the sannyas order, but this God brother forced me. You must. Apayan ma. Apayan means he forcefully made me to drink this medicine. Anabhipsu andham. Why I was unwilling? Anabhipsu means unwilling. Andham. Andham means one who is blind, who cannot see his future. The spiritual life is the brightest future, but the materialist cannot see to it. But the Vaishnavas, the spiritual master, they forcefully, you drink this. Apayan mam anabhipsumandam. See Kesava Bhakti Pragyana Nama. So, this my God brother, his name is Kesava, Bhakti Pragyana Kesava. Kripam Buddhi. So, he did this favor upon me because you are ocean of mercy. So, we offer our obeisances to Vaishnava. Kripam Buddhi. Vancha kalpatarubhascha. Kripa Sindhu Bhaiva. The Vaishnavas, the representative of the Lord, they are so kind. They bring the ocean of mercy for distributing to the suffering humanity. Kripam Buddhija. Samaham Prapadde. So, I am offering my respectful obeisances unto this His Holiness, because he forcefully made me adopt this sannyas order. So he is no more in this world. He has entered Krishna's abode. So I am offering my respectful obeisances along with my disciples. On the first day of my sannyas, I never thought, but I remembered that I will have to speak in English. So I remember on that sannyas day when there was a reception, so first of all, I spoke in English. So it is all arrangement of Krishna, authority, that we are writing like this, resolve that we, the undersigned members and devotees of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Incorporated, in a condolence meeting under the presidency of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, today, the 21st of October 1968, at our Seattle branch, express our profound bereavement on hearing the passing of Grace Om Vishnupad Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, the sannyas guru, preceptor of our spiritual master, and on October 6, 1968, at his headquarters residence in Navadvip, West Bengal. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srimad B.P. Keshav Goswami Maharaj with the following verse composed on this occasion by our spiritual master. These words I have already explained to you. So I wish that you all sign this and I will send it tomorrow by Gandhi. Have you got pencil? One side spiritual name, one side the original.
Srila Param Gurudeva Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. So this lecture was published in the small booklet called Their Lasting Relation. What else was published in here was that right after Param Gurudev's departure, Srila Gurudev and Srila Trivikram Maharaj wrote to Prabhupada and told him about the disappearance. And so Prabhupada wrote back to them. This is the letter. I would play the recording, but there's no recording, only a letter. Sripad Trivikram Maharaj, yesterday I received your letter dated October 12th, and its contents were heartbreaking. Kindly inform me of the details of the sudden disappearance of Pujapad Maharaj. I had a very long-standing, intimate relationship with Srila Maharaj. I used to visit Sripad Narahari Dada. You remember Gurudev spoke about him. He was not a sannyasi, but he was well respected by all the seniors and sannyasis, including Param Gurudev and our Srila Prabhupada. He was a very intimate disciple of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he was known as the Florence Nightingale of the Gaudiya Math. And he would take care of all the children who lived in the Math. Like at night, even if they would urinate, he would clean everything up and put them to bed and treat them so lovingly. So I used to visit Sripad Narahari Dada and Sripad Vinod Dada, that's Param Gurudev, with great affection. They were my extremely loving friends. Also in Calcutta, Senior Tirtha Maharaj, Professor Nishkant Sanyal, and Vasudev Prabhu were very dear to me. Afterwards, I used to visit and associate freely with Srila Sridhar Maharaj, as if we were the closest of family members. Except for Sripad Sridhar Maharaj, all of the above-mentioned Vaishnavas have gradually disappeared. Our time is also approaching, so it will be best to have the opportunity to serve Srila Prabhupada as long as possible. I have a very close connection with Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti. That is, excuse me, the institution that Srila Param Gurudev established after the somewhat breakup of the Gaudiya Math and splitting up of Sri Chaitanya Math. And our Srila Prabhupada was one of the signing members. So I have a close relationship with Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, yourself, and particularly Sripad Vaman Maharaj. Huh? No, Vaman. That means Gurudev's godbrother. I am one of the 3 persons who founded Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti at Boshapad Lane, Calcutta, even before Srila Maharaj accepted sannyas. Within a few days of the formation of the Samiti, Sri Narottam-Ananda Brahmachari, later Sri Srimad Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj, separated himself from it. At that time, Sripad Vaman Maharaj, who then was a brahmachari, visited our home at Sita Kanta Banerjee Lane. He'd made me the president of the Bengali magazine called Sri Gaudiya Patrika. You heard about the Patrikas yesterday. Respecting the order of Srila Maharaj, I started writing articles for the Gaudiya Patrika regularly. And Srila Maharaj greatly appreciated whatever I wrote. Thereafter, I was appointed as the president of the Hindi magazine too, and that is called Bhagavat Patrika. And many of my articles were published in that. Afterwards, I could not submit articles due to lack of time, and now I have become a resident of foreign lands, and I have to travel 20,000 miles every year. The greatest compassion of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj upon me was to make me a sannyasi. He would certainly have been most pleased today to see the success of my preaching. Last year, I visited him in Calcutta along with my disciples, and despite his being bedridden, he was very pleased to receive us. I have complete confidence that he must be very pleased to see my widespread preaching of the message of Sriman Mahaprabhu in Western countries like America, Canada, England, Germany, Hawaii, situated in the Pacific Ocean, as well as Eastern countries like Japan. I was a staunch Grihamedi, means one whose intelligence is absorbed in household life. Prabhupada used to come to me in dreams from time to time and called me to renounce family life and come along with him. The dreams would frighten me. You already heard about this in Prabhupada's lecture. Then he's just repeating what he said in the lecture. I didn't have a desire, but this godbrother forced me. You must. So I'm eternally indebted to him. Therefore, immediately after receiving your letter, I organized a Viraha Shabha, a meeting at the Seattle Temple to honor his disappearance, Viraha Mahotsava Day. And also, he had a couple of other temples, one Los Angeles and one New York, where I was at that time. And so we all, wherever we were, we met and we had to sign this condolence letter. I'm sending a condolence resolution of the meeting along with this letter. Kindly accept it as our Shraddhanjali, humble homage. In my other centers, the list is enclosed, particularly London, Hamburg, Honolulu. I've given instruction for them all to arrange a Viraha Shabha or Viraha Mahotsava, which we did, and offer their homage. You'll be glad to know that I have formed 3 Sankirtan parties, compromising American youths and couples under my guidance. One such party is currently traveling in cities of America, and I'm also with this party. The second party of 6 devotees is performing Sankirtan. 6 devotees means 3 couples in different places in London. The Indians living there are amazed to see them. Those Indians have given up their homeland and come all the way to the Western world to attain wealth and reputation. But the Americans are performing Harinam Sankirtan. Somehow the preaching activities are going on very nicely. I'm interested to know what kind of constitution you are forming. In this matter, you will receive my complete cooperation because I am a man of constructive ideas. I do not like destructive policies. It was the desire of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that Americans perform kirtan in Sridham Mayapur, and that opportunity has now come. Unfortunately, those who have intruded into Mayapur consider it to be their personal property.
Who's he talking about when he says that?
I'm not sure, maybe it explains. And these days, others are restricted from visiting that place. Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami used to deal with these Guru Tyagis, those who renounce their Guru, and Guru Bhogis, those who enjoy the property of their Guru, with sword in hand. In this regard, last year, he mentioned that he would arrange 5 acres of land for me in Sridham Mayapur. You were present at that time. If you help me in this matter, I intend to make an ashram in Mayapur. American boys and girls can visit and stay there and receive proper training. By our cooperation, preaching activities can be done very nicely. So back then, Prabhupada is hinting that he's cooperating with, he's in cooperation with Gurudev Sangha. They're together. Because he's a man of constructive ideas.
I also felt there a message of not claiming ownership of land for this, matter. Like in Mayapur, they have, ISKCON has this great thing, but nobody can get close there because they're very ownership issues.
Mm-hmm.
But the Sangha, those are eternal. The Guru is maintaining.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to Montreal tomorrow. From there, I will go to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Los Angeles. I'm sending the address of our centers with this letter. They are executing a plan to build New Vrindavan on 300 acres of land. Kindly reply to the Los Angeles Hollywood address, as I will be staying 3 days in Montreal, 7 days in Santa Fe, and almost 1 month in Los Angeles. Prithviche achi yatta nagaragi gram sarvatra prachar hoibe moranam. From Chaitanya Bhagavat, Anshakanda 4:126. In every town and village, the chanting of my name will be heard. Preaching can be spread extensively throughout the world on the basis of this system. I think that your constitution must be directly in accordance with the above prediction. I hope your bhajan is going nicely. Your obedient servant, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami. Very nice. All right, so Haridas left some remnants for me. 10 minutes? Oh, Haridas Prabhu left some remnants for me in his court case series yesterday. This will take 1 minute. She's waiting for me to speak about Param Gurudev's Mangalarti song, which will coming in just a moment. So, before there was a Chaitanya Mat, which is the first Mat of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Just like, even recently, not so recently, but there's terrorism fights between the Hindus and the Muslims, and Lord Ram's temple was just constructed. So similarly, back then, before Sri Chaitanya Mat was constructed, the Muslims made an invasion and they kind of took over. They became the influencer. And whereas Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had discovered, as you can read in Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, the information all came in his trance by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and Janavadevi. So he, exactly like this is 12 meters from this place is 1 mile from that, because after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance, the Ganges, as it sometimes tends to, the Ganges changes its course. And what was on the eastern bank is now on the western bank. And what was highlands is now lowlands, and vice versa. So they took Mayapur, the name Mayapur, which is the rightful name of that place, and changed it to Miyampur and made it all Muslim. And they desecrated many temples and turned it into mosques. They razed, means it down to the floor, temples, and right next to Mahaprabhu's birthplace is another holy place called Chandra Shekhar Bhavan, the abode of another of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates. So the Muslims, it's really our place, it's really Mahaprabhu's place, but the Muslims covered the whole land with Muslim graveyards, and the Muslims used to go there to say their namaz, their impersonalism, bowing downs. So, because Srila Param Gurudev now became in charge of making the Sri Chaitanya Math happen, he couldn't tolerate these atrocities. So he got some trees and plants together during the day and hid them. And then one night, in the middle of the night when everyone was sleeping, he took out he was so bold, he took out all the Muslim graves and he threw it anywhere. Madhav Maharaj suggested he threw them in the Ganges. And Gurudev said, no, then they would be liberated. He threw them anywhere. And he replaced all those graves with a big park. Gurudev used the word park, of mango trees and flowers and plants. And it looked like they were very old. You couldn't tell by his magic that it was just that night. So when the Muslims came the next morning, they all said, hey, what happened? What did Keshav Maharaj do? And so they filed a court case and called the police. So the police came and they looked around and they said, there's no sign that there was ever a graveyards here, and there's no sign that these trees and plants were just newly planted. They look old. And so the police just left and the case was thrown out. Yes.
Why wouldn't Srila Gurudev want,
Go ahead.
want them to have been thrown in the Ganges and be liberated?
It was all joking. Okay. So then Chandrasekhar Bhavan and Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math were able to be established. So Srila Gurudev was explaining how Srila Parama Gurudev observed Vyasa Puja, and I really want to do that this year. And do you know where the Panchakas are? You have an idea where you put them? Can you put them all across here? So there's a book that was extant since the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted, as you remember, from Nityananda's appearance, like now. Where am I? Extant means it existed. Since the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as you remember, Mahaprabhu told Srivas Thakur, I want to perform Vyasa Puja tomorrow. I want to have it in your house. So Srivas Thakur said, great, I have the book, and we'll follow everything in the book. So you know then that Nityananda Prabhu, instead of garlanding the image of Vyasadeva, he garlanded Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, knowing that he's the cause, the source of Vyasadeva. So anyway, in this system of Vyasa Puja, the Acharya, whose birthday it is, he worships 7 sets of 5s. So there are 5, and there are 7 sets of them, which we usually have, and we will have them hopefully in a few minutes. One is Radha Krishna, Gaur Gadadhar, and Gurudev. One is Panchatattva, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, and Srivas. One is Vaisampayani, which means who? Sukadeva Goswami and the 4 sampradayas. Because Gurudev was saying that it's very important to respect, to honor the 4 sampradaya acharyas. One is Gurudev, Param Gurudev, Paramesti Gurudev, Paratpura Gurudev, and Param Presta Gurudev. And then one is Krishna and the 4 expansions of Krishna in Mathura, Dwarka, and Vaikuntha. That is who? Vasudev, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshan. And then there's the Vyas Panchaka, which is Vyasdev and his 4 disciples who helped him, served him in expanding the one Veda. And that is Jayamini Rishi, Payala Rishi, Vaisampayana Rishi, and one other, Samanta Rishi. And yeah, the other one we mentioned, called the Upasya Panchaka, which is Radha Krishna, Gaur Gadadhar, and Gurudev. And then there's the 4 Kamara Panchaka. The 4 Kamaras and Vishvakshena. And unfortunately, I don't know who Vishvakshena is, but I will ask Hripad Madhav Maharaj. So rather than, okay, I want all the glorification for myself, it's the duty of the Acharya to bring his disciples to worship the Guru Parampara in this way. So now coming to Mangalartik. You all sing Mangalartik every day, and I don't know how many of us know the meaning. So we're going to hear the translation and remember it. All glories to the auspicious forms of Sri Guru and Gursundar, and all glories to Sri Radha Krishna's auspicious amorous love. Gurudev was explaining that the advanced devotee, he's already absorbed, as we mentioned yesterday, according to the time of day, he's absorbed in remembering the 8-fold pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So in the morning, before Mangalartik, he's meditating on Radha and Krishna in a deep embrace, but he doesn't see that in a mundane way. And then Vrinda Devi becomes worried because she's thinking that now it's dark, but soon the light is coming and people are going to be waking up. And then the people, maybe even Radharani's in-laws, will start looking for her. So we have to get her up and home as soon as possible. So she employed the bumblebees and particularly the birds, like the male and female peacocks. And the male peacocks would sing, what, Santi? Kee! That means that who can control the mad elephant? No, who can control Radharani, whose man is unbreakable, who's very steady? Who can control her by his love? And so the male peacocks go, Kee! Only Krishna. And then the female peacocks go, Ka! Which means, who can control that mad elephant? Krishna, who no one can control, only Sri Radha by her love. And then the pigeons are singing, the male and female pigeons, and they're all sitting on different kinds of trees, like pilu trees. What other kind of tree? Mango, grape tree. And they're all singing. They're not just chirping. They're, because they speak. You better get up now, because who knows what's going to happen in a little while, and then you won't be able to perform your pastimes anymore. I know you're having a very good time, but it's time to get up and go to your homes. And this arati, means what in Hindi or Sanskrit? Come. And rati means transcendental moods. So arati means that we're calling for these transcendental moods to come. So, anyway, the devotee is meditating on these Nishant Leela pastimes. And then Radha and Krishna don't want to get up from their embrace. And even though the roosters are calling out for them to get up, Radharani tells the rooster, just go and, what do the roosters do? No, I mean, what do they go and? Go and call out in hell. And then he stopped for a minute. Oh, good, he went to hell, and he's not going to be calling out anymore. But everyone is trying to get them up, and the Sakis are trying to get them up. So finally, there's one thing that was able to get them up. The Kakati, who is Radharani's monkey, called out, Jatila is coming. And so everybody became afraid. They immediately got out of their flower bed, and the Manjaris very quickly got all the broken necklaces together and everything else that was there on the beds. And the Manjaris are able, because they're so smart, they're able to tell what happened during the night just by looking at the arrangement of the jewelry and flowers on the bed. So all glories to the auspicious forms of Sri Guru and Gaurasundar and Radha and Krishna's amorous love. So then, when Radharani and Krishna go home, and then he starting to lament that his meditation breaks, because the Bhav Bhakta, he goes in and out of the pastime. So all of a sudden, the conch shell blows, and the Mangal Arti starts. And so again, he's put into the bliss of remembering the Leela through the Arti. And I remember in Holland, Gurudev said, when you do Arti, you may think that you're doing the Arti, but you're not doing the Arti. Lalita is doing the Arti. All glories to their auspicious Nishanta Leela, which heralds the end of the night, and to their auspicious awakening, which brings auspiciousness to all. Glories to Mangal Arti, which awakens in the devotees' hearts. And Srila Param Gurudev is praying, please awaken this Mangal Arti in my heart. While you sleep, the jivas lie sleeping deep in their ignorance. But upon your rising, the whole world awakens. If you manifest in their hearts, then all tattva and all siddhanta will be revealed to them. Please bestow your kind glance upon the world and awaken in my heart that most auspicious rati. There's two kinds of rati. One rati means bhava bhakti, but one rati is almost in Mahabhav. It's a very high stage of prem. And that's why Rati Manjari, you all know Rati Manjari, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he prays to Srimati Radhika in Valabhkus Manjali that please give me the pollen, the very fragrant pollen-like dust of your lotus feet on my head so that I can actually call my head the highest part of my body. Otherwise, it's not worth it. It's not worth being called the highest part. He doesn't just want a foot on his head. He wants a foot on his head as part of a pastime. Like, for example, Krishna is trying to paint Radharani's feet with his own name, but his hand starts trembling because his heart is trembling, and so he's not writing well. So Radharani tells Rati Manjari that you do it. He's a bal painter, he's a neophyte painter. He doesn't know what he's doing. So then Rati Manjari forcibly takes away the brush and starts writing, but Krishna's not very happy about that, and he'll pull back the brush. But then, because she's giggling, Radharani says, just paint, don't laugh. And so she, could think of Radharani on a higher place, Rati Manjari on a lower place. And so she very softly kicks her head or sometimes her arm with her foot, and then the wet red lac that Krishna was using to paint his name on Radharani's feet, it's still wet. So it gets on Rati Manjari's head. And then she's ready to go and tell all the Sakis that I am now a Chatmara Saki. I'm a bona fide, government-stamped, authorized agent of the government of you, Radharani. But then as soon as he gets up to do that and look in the mirror, he sees there's nothing in the mirror. So that's the Bhav Bhakta. I mean, he's a Prema Bhakta, but playing the role of a Bhav Bhakta where they sometimes enter into the pastimes and sometimes lose it, but is weeping in separation. So, awaken in my heart the most auspicious Rati, and then Raghunath Das Goswami, make my head being authorized to be called the head. The peacocks, parrots, and cuckoos all exist solely to sing for your auspicious awakening. They do other things too. Sitting in the branches of the trees, all the birds sing their supremely sweet morning melodies, which resound throughout the forest. These sweet, soft, auspicious sounds grace everyone. Varieties of flowers with lotuses in the center fill the pond and sway with the waves. Breezes carry auspicious aromas of pure delight and joy everywhere, which can be understood on one level as anyone who's around to see the the love exchange between Radha and Krishna, that mood goes on to those devotees and they experience it. It's the highest thing that anyone can experience. I forget how to say it in Sanskrit. Anyway, so if anyone is around, it goes to them too. And that's why Raghunath Das Goswami opened up the Vilap Kusmanjali by telling Rupa Manjari, I see you have a cut on your lip, even though your husband's been out of town for a few days buying cows. How has this happened? Has some big parrot bit your lips? So just by it happens to Radharani and anyone who's around, that the same thing happens to that Saki. So here it's called as a variety of flowers with lotus in the center filled upon and sway with the waves, and the breezes carry that aroma to everywhere. Large cymbals, sometimes they're actual instruments and sometimes they're the bracelets and waist belts and ankle belts of the Sakis. And sometimes they're instruments, both. Large cymbals, gongs, bells, conch shells, kartals, and auspicious mridangas play the supreme ras. Performing Mangal Artik in the company of devotees, Sri Keshava Das sings Nam Sankirtan. Gaur Premanandi, Srila Bhakti Priyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And there's a lot of more deep imports which we'll gradually realize or hear about. Okay, come. So this is what it kind of looks like. One devotee is going to Govardhan, and I remember when I was there 20 years ago, Akinchan Maharaj was using these Sapta Panchaka in a big ceremony. So I'm going to ask how that's actually done. Are there any questions or comments? Again?
I have to leave by 12.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. All right. So we can save it for, unless it's super quick.
Yeah, it's a yes or no.
All right.
This Mangal Arati song, was it ever sung in ISKCON?
Not to my knowledge.
The Madhurya Leela. That's what you put it.
Well, I was just wondering, did you sing any song called the Mangal Arati in ISKCON?
Yes, we sang Samsara Davana Lila.
But that says it differently.
Huh? But Gurudev did add the Vibhavari Shesha to the, in Vrindavan at least. Yeah. Maybe they did do it later, but when I was there, which was a long time ago, it was just Samsara. Because Prabhupada was just first guru, and then we'll meet everybody later. So even though it's not time for singing to Guru, but Prabhupada began the whole Western world spiritual journey by that samsara during Mangalarti. Okay, Gaur Premanand.